And overall, across the province, the change in the weather and the change in the overall fire situation mean that we can lift the ban on activity and travel in the woods. This is very positive. I know this ban has had an impact on many people, and I want to thank Nova Scotians for doing their part to respect the ban and keep the province safe. So, effective at 12:01 tonight, the travel ban will be lifted, except, of course, for evacuated areas. We must continue to respect the evacuation orders, but that's a good thing to know that that's being lifted. So, but I'm also pleading with anyone who's going into the woods: don't be stupid. Be safe. Be fire smart. Don't flick a dart. Don't have a bonfire. Don't do something that could start a fire. Be responsible and be mindful of the conditions across the province. So when the fire ban can be lifted, it will be lifted. We're just not there yet, but we can lift the travel ban. Anyone who continues to who chooses to ignore the fire ban, the $25,000 fine is still in effect, and tickets will continue to be issued. So respect the fire ban. Be smart. Be smart as we move forward. We're a changed province after these fires in many ways. Emotional scars run deep and will take time. The financial scars run deep and will take time. But I've been so impressed by the blue noser spirit that has been shining through communities, helping communities, just seeing people step up has been such a good thing. And there's more work to be done, but we're moving in the right direction. Thanks, Heather. Thanks, everyone.
Important information. Thank you, Premier. Now, allow me to introduce His Worship, Mayor Mike Savage of the Halifax Regional Municipality. Go ahead, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Heather, Premier, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to be here. I am joined by our Director of Emergency Management, Erica Fleck, who I'm going to ask she has a couple of words to say when I'm finished, if that's okay, as well as, of course, answering questions. I want to thank everybody for joining us today and thank the province for hosting this press conference again. While we are concerned about our fellow Nova Scotians in places like Shelburne and Barrington and others, I'm pleased to say that the Tantallon wildfire is officially under control. Now that means that they're contained, but and not expected to move, but the fires are not still all out. Firefighters, both career and volunteer, from HRM, DND, and others, and so many jurisdictions that joined the fight against these fires have been doing extraordinary work. And as I was mentioning to the Premier early today when we chatted, it is so heartening to see the incredible cooperation between all the orders of government, D&D, and others. And I want to thank those other volunteer fire departments who've sent assistance. Mother Nature deserves some thanks as well. We have all learned just how much we are at the whim of Mother Nature. Many of us have never followed the rain forecast and particularly the wind forecast as much. So thank you, Bob Robichaud, for giving us a break. Halifax Fire will have a briefing at 5 o'clock and they can tell you more. While we're moving to the recovery phase, the needs, while different, are certainly still urgent for us. I want to thank the more than 16,000 residents who have cooperated with mandatory evacuations. The terrible uncertainty of when they can go back to their homes and what awaits them when they get there. We're making good progress on shrinking the evacuation zone. We heard the emergency alert just about 10 minutes before this press conference began, letting people know that they can move back into their homes in some areas. If you are returning to your home, please be prepared to stop at a checkpoint. You will have to show identification. In addition to those who've lost their homes, thousands of their neighbors in the most heavily impacted areas remain under an evacuation order. We know they want to go home. HRM is working with partners, including Nova Scotia Power, the Nova Scotia Department of Environment, Halifax Water, RCMP, and Public Health, to assess these neighborhoods for hazards that could include things like contaminated drinking water or soil, air quality issues, smoke damage, power hazards, and other dangers, for example, debris. It's not easy to tell people this, but you must be prepared to be out for a number of days yet in those areas. For those who've lost their homes, please know that additional work will be undertaken to address hazards on your properties before you gain access. It's a devastating thing to lose a home, and we will work with the province, the feds, and anybody else toward disaster relief and housing options. Erica will speak just a little bit about the return to the evacuation areas and what to do when you get there. I will also say that we recognize that we have to adjust our solid waste schedule for things like spoiled food and other things. So we are taking extra measures for that. You can check that on the website. It's been interesting. We have exercised our powers during the state of local emergency to build 2 permanent gravel gated emergency exits on municipal land to provide additional travel options in the case of an emergency. A clearing from the Halliburton Hills subdivision to connect Buckingham Drive to Highway 103, that's under construction, and a clearing from the Highland Park subdivision from the end of Sylvania Terrace to Hammonds Plains Road. Construction will begin in the coming days. I want to thank as well with the DNRR folks, and I hope it's okay to specifically mention Paul Schnurr, who's from the Premier's part of the woods, who has been here and has done an exceptional job working with Erica and everybody else. The Daves, I learned so much listening to you guys on these calls and in your briefings. It's been exceptional. I want to thank D&D. So, you know, you will see that Canadian Armed Forces are in the municipality, but they are being sent to other areas, to Shelburne, Barrington, and areas like that. But D&D has been very helpful to us over the last week. And the last word from me, I want to thank, you know, a number of elected officials who have been getting calls and have been trying to assist their constituents. In particular, Councillor Pam Lovelace, who has been doing remarkable work, trying to connect people, trying to get information, and trying to be as honest and forthright as she can be. Lisa Blackburn, Tim Outfit, many others. Similarly, we have had visits at the EOC from Ben Jessam, Lena Diab, Ian Rankin's been in constant touch. Minister Steve Craig, of course, has been all over this as well. Just want people to understand that decisions about evacuations and safety issues, while politicians are ultimately responsible, we take the advice and we follow the direction of those who know exactly what they're doing. I've said before, don't call me if you're looking to get back into your home, because I'll just listen to the experts. And the same goes for people like Pam, who has been getting many, many calls. So thank you, Pam Lovelace. Everybody's trying to do their best. It's all hands on deck. Erica, could you just say a couple of words about the relaxation of evacuation? And then if people have questions, we'll answer them as well. Thank you all very much. Erica?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody. So I just want to say that, as the Mayor mentioned, you know, we're trying to get people home as quick as possible, but we also have to make sure that it's done safely. And as the Premier mentioned, you know, the fire is under control, but there are still other issues that we need to look at. So as we start to return people, and on the updated website maps today, there is phase 1, 2, and 3. So phase 1, the alert just went out prior to this press conference to say that those residents could return this afternoon, starting at 3 o'clock. But we still have to look at water supplies. We still have to look at garbage. We still have to look at, is there damage in and around there? Are the egress routes safe? So all of those things that we need to look at. So even though from a fire perspective, it may be safe, we also have to look at all the other concerns. We're working very closely, as the Mayor mentioned, with Nova Scotia Environment, with our Halifax Water. We do have, again, everything's updated on the website. We have potable water going out into the communities because we know that, you know, the wells may be contaminated. So these are all the things that we need to make sure that it's safe before people get back. And we are providing security, and we'll continue to do so in neighborhoods that are not open to ensure that residents' belongings are safe. Thank you very much.